back, everyone. I would like to introduce you to Ben, playing Ticto Keeper, Brian, playing Edward the Everflame Niven, and I am Joel the DM. Our group found found the target of their search in the plains of the Standing Stones, guarded by a very large dragon that apparently was made of wood. And finally coming to contact with this strange item, find out that it was placed there by Pelor, who was very excited to speak with them finally, and has offered them a chance to work together. We had some banter back and forth. God, frustrated with the misinterpretation of his words, and a bug about to be used as a messenger. We welcome you to join us on our quest to become Nerds of Legends. We leave off as Ticto. You had a plan, I believe.
Yes. I'm gonna pull out one of my messenger wasps, and I'm just gonna basically use the device and just say have it the destination be to domain, and just be like, uh, we just met Pelor. Uh, Come to Grove. He says he needs you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like like Gandalf with the moth on
Okay.
Skiliath, and just be like,
It comes back, and Dumain's like, I don't speak moth. Do better. No, I'm joking. You you get there, and you like, what? And you let go of the moth.
the
The
wasp.
little bug, whatever the hell you want it to be. It's a bug. And it flies around in circles, and then just lands right back in your hand and kind of shrugs. Pelor's like, hold on a minute, man. I'm sorry. And he point the little world you're in, like you're
Oh yeah, we're in
point a
like
little. Yeah, you're in his
we're
domain.
in like a demi plane. I forgot.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I don't think. Give me 1 second. He does this little pinch. You know, like how you pinch and drag your screen. And he's like, shh. And a little window opens up. He's like, my man, try it again. He looks at the bug. He's like, sorry, little guy. And bug gets up and. Um, he
Forgot
sits
we
there.
weren't here first. We weren't in Faerun for a second.
I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I mean, take a look at your surroundings, man. It's pretty. You're not necessarily in Faerun anymore.
So, I mean, I'm
Some places
assuming.
it
I'm
can,
assuming.
but
I mean, maybe this is egotistical, but I'm assuming you've been watching us for a bit, and you may
yeah,
understand
from
that.
here,
Yeah. Um.
from here.
Yeah. Then you should know that I have two things that I'm able to pay attention to at any given time, and one of them is time, and the other one is magic. Everything else kind of fades out into oblivion.
Then I would like to point out magic as he waves it at everything that's around. He's like, there's a lot of it here.
Yeah, but this is divine
Like
stuff.
all
I
of it.
can't touch it. I can't do anything about it. It gives me a headache.
He reaches down and he picks up this flower. It's got 7 leaves. And he's like, here, this helps with headaches, man. You should probably think about it once in a while. You're awfully wound up.
I am
Also,
always wound up.
yeah, like a clock. I get it. Ah, I see what you did there. That joke was dumb. But anyways,
The funny
so
part is I didn't even mean to make a joke, but it is poignant.
I
Sorry.
imagine a lot of your humor probably is unintentional. So, anyways, surprisingly, you're probably going to need to be out of here to get that message back. So,
Is there anything else you needed to tell us?
no, just knock on the pillar again when you're ready. So, see you in a minute. And you just like poof out. You find yourself sitting in the grove again, and there's a Faerun just like still curled around this thing, except now he's got like a small like teenager mustache of like lavender flowers, and like his hair's growing. Like he's like growing a draconic beard, but because he's made of predominantly moss and wood, uh, it's flowers. It's like does not make him look scarier at all, but he is wicked impressed of it. And he's sitting there like, and so Edward, you find yourself alone with a god who has just explained that there's a power vacuum, and he would definitely like to be throwing his hand into this ring. And go ahead.
Oh, kind of not sure what to really say.
So are you saying that as Edward, or is that above board, or is that Brian being like, I'm stumped because I'm talking to Shaggy, who's definitely a god?
I definitely didn't expect Pelor to be like a alumni of like Ridgemont High.
Right? It makes it so fun to sit there
Surfer
and
bro.
yeah. Well, it was either that or like the over the top view of like how Paladin would be in in Dragonlance.
Mhm.
Where he's like, I have come to fight evil, and you're like, oh, that's very tropey and boring.
I guess I'll say that in character. Well, like I kind of don't really know what to say. In my
about what?
well, it's just kind of weird talking to a god. You see, in my world, you don't really exist.
Oh yeah, you're from Eberron, right? Like you have those dragons.
Yes, and even
Ish.
they
Like
aren't really like gods in the typical sense.
I'm gonna be honest. Like even as the gods, we're aware of them, but we don't even know what they are. Like they're like more like a concept.
Yes, in fact, many of the gods of Eberron are more like ideas than they are
Yeah,
physical entities.
yeah. So if you ever want like a real like just honest shake your hand like God, like I mean right here, I'm looking to expand. Like but anyway, we're getting the cart before the horse. You got horses in Eberron, right? Like so like you know what that is.
Yes, yes, we have
And I'm
horses.
assuming you got okay, cool. So I know this travel is weird. So anyways, you got some strange companions.
You're telling me.
I'm like, I'm just saying, like that one with the little, like that the wizard one. Oh, he's smart as they come, but man, is not picking up some clues.
If we had, say, like a character sheet with like 6 stats, I don't suppose his wisdom would be his highest score.
No, no, I would expect that would be I don't know maybe where you would dump the lowest score maybe.
Yeah, like
No.
sort of maybe like a stat, like a dump stat or something.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like I feel like he put the most points he could in like the brain, but not a whole lot in like the looking and common sense part. So just maybe I don't know. It's weird. He's definitely an interesting fella.
Ticto's wisdom is okay. It's his charisma that's his dump stat.
I feel like I just heard a voice that said maybe he's also not too people friendly. Like
Oh, I can certainly attest to that.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's weird when you really break people's personality down into six trackable characteristics.
It's a bit strange, but then again, it's been kind of a strange sort of week.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it really makes everything around you make so much more sense.
You could
Doesn't
say
it though? I mean, it's like we have, all these attributes and numbers and
Right,
like,
right.
yeah.
Like, it just makes sense. Like, when you see a guy that's got, like, he's really big, you'd be like, oh, I bet he'll hit maybe 2 points harder than the next guy. Like, it's so easy when you categorize it. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. So, you seem to be a little bit more cause and effect, like, and I know I come off as kind of like, however I come off, but like, I promise, like, I do have a definite goal.
What would you
And,
say that your plan is exactly? Like,
well, I don't
what do you
know
intend to do?
how familiar you are with the realms. How familiar are you with the realms? Like, there's more than one, right? Like, yeah, obviously we talked about Eberron, and you're here in Faerun, and like, about that, right?
Yes, I'm getting much more familiar than I was at the start of this journey.
Oh, okay. Like, this is your first time?
My first time hopping between various planes of existence as well as various afterlives. Yeah, it's a first for me.
There's just some things you take for granted, like being an immortal being that personifies an aspect of some kind of like moral spectrum. Like,
Which, by the
it's
way, I have a question for you. Are you omniscient? Are you omnipresent? Like, where exactly on the godhood are you?
I there's actually only like a few of us that would categorize as omniscient, but then they fall into a domain that, like, you got like Ayun, who she's got a couple different names, like here she's Ayun and it's the knowing mistress. She's pretty much omniscient. She knows everything, but then doesn't have a lot of other powers, because like knowledge is her thing. And then you've got like Dionair, who's like another god of knowledge. Um, and then you've got like Gillian, who does nothing but knows everything, and Kryn, that kind of stuff. I mean, so it's more like what you do. Like, I'm on the side of like, though I act kind of like this. It's like, I don't know. What did your friends say? Like, surfer dude, whatever. Like, I don't know what that means, but like, Uh, do I act like that? Mine is more like order and law. Like, I'm more like, you do good because it's what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm about like order, and that's my thing. I also am like light in life, like that's where I get my kind of just let everything live, and why that little gecko became that big wood dragon thing.
Yes, I
That's part of
remember the
my
father
sphere.
saying something about your uh, particular spheres of influence.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, think of me as like I've got a system that operates within a very specific set of rules to make things grow and bring vitality. Like, that's what I'm all about.
So then,
Now,
are you looking to challenge Asmodeus, or how does this work exactly?
well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Do you guys have like a big punch up or something like that, or how does that work exactly? Again, I'm new with gods.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is kind of unprecedented. Like, so, are you? How connected are you with things that have been going on? Are you? Is this your first time like encountering like a powerful like entity? You know,
Um,
like
what level of power are we talking about here? Because I've met some pretty powerful things along my
what?
journey.
Like a multiplanar entity.
No, I know Devariel, and I'm pretty sure he.
Oh, of like Dark Swamp? Like do you know him as Nuvariel or do you know him as Bob? Or
Um,
Robo Bobskin, which he came up with a while ago. Which is
I
tough.
met him as
Dumb
Navariel,
name.
but he did mention his other nicknames.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Nuvariel. Yeah, he's not a god, but he's up there.
I was also wandering around Sigil recently, and I think I might
Oh,
have spotted the Lady of Pain.
yeah, she's next level stuff. I don't know what she is. But she doesn't. Okay, at this time, you get Ticto. You're standing outside, super annoyed, and you get stung right in the ear.
Yeah.
You're like, why did I have to get kicked out? And
I think
so
they're talking about me. I know they're talking about me.
yeah, you're 100%
That's
confused.
rude.
You're like, they kicked me out to talk shit. I can tell. And the little bug like stings you back, and he's like, and it says, I'm supposed to come there. Um, there's a bit of a situation here, but I guess that's it.
Hmm.
So, and now back.
I think I get 2 more uses. So
I think you bought 3 of them.
I did,
Yeah.
and I think I get 2 more uses.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, let's see. What kind of situation? Um, all I know is Pelor said you need to come to the obelisk.
And then you send the bug off.
Yeah.
And you like these are neat little bits of like Eberron artifice because they get up, they fly up, and then but they still are just as quick as a regular message spell. So
Yeah.
it flies off and it's like poof, disappears. Comes back maybe a minute later, and you hear the guards are killed. It's chaos. People don't know what to do right now. That's what it is. Like, people don't know what to do, period. And then, like, right now, like, I'm supposed to come right now is how you interpret it.
I'm gonna knock on the pillar. Seems like it's kind of like a door sort of scenario.
Yeah, you go in there and you're like, you walk up, like, you're like, and you like, you get ready to, like, the minute your knuckles hit, but you're, like, committed to the motion. So, like, the first time your knuckles hit, you just pop right back inside, and you appear, like, looking around like, I probably could have just touched it.
Yeah.
And he said,
He
"Oh,
did say
you're
no.
back."
Yeah. So apparently there's a situation at the
We weren't
town.
talking about you either. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know you're lying. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
No, we weren't.
I totally don't care at all
Definitely.
whatsoever what you were saying about me.
So okay, well then on that note, like, which one would be your dumb stat? Like wisdom or would that be charisma? Like, we have a bet. I'm joking. Just keep going. Continue. Disregard what we were talking about. It's different stuff.
Charisma. But anyway,
Oh shit! And Pelor like 4 points.
I knew it.
I should have made it better for God.
So I talked to Domain. He said there's a situation at the town. Apparently, all the guards are dead. I think I know who did it. Pretty sure, anyway. And there's a bit of chaos going on in the town, and nobody knows what to do. He wanted to know if he needs to come right now. I mean, I'm surprised there's a little bit of like pushback on this because he's your like priest, and I said your God says to come here, and you'd think that would be like a thing that would happen like right away, but
Really, like we work different. Like it's not you're obviously familiar with like the evil, like the way things are run by Asmodeus, where he's like do, and you have one choice, and that's do or die. We're more like how would it best work for everyone involved. So like if there's chaos and he's taking care of the people, I'm good with that. Like that's more important than making sure. I mean, I'm gonna still be here. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, he said no, and then I just fade out of existence. Like that's not how it works.
okay,
You say that the town does not have any guards,
correct.
so it's
Yeah,
completely open at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
would appear so. It appears like
And
you're.
with that, Edward just like walks straight out with purpose.
Huh, I'm wondering if Christmas also his dubstep.
I think that's all of our dump
That
stats.
was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Can you guys see outside of the thing?
So then, he's like, looks at Ticto. He's like, so do you think we should go see what's going on?
Probably a good idea. Is there any
All right.
faster way of getting back to the town?
'Cause
You know, you're
there's like a ton of faster ways. Like, he's apparently wanting to beat feet, you know?
I'm gonna like stick my head out of the demiplane and be like, Edward, come back, we have a faster way. Just like
Tap the obelisk. And like, what is this faster way?
I mean,
you just walked away from a god, like time and space don't really mean much to them.
had
You
a
can
whole
kind of
lot.
just like
Yeah, you walked out with like purpose, like you were gonna go somewhere. Like, what were you doing?
I was going to transform into an owl and fly back to town.
I mean, like that's you get like props for like flair and stuff, but like I was thinking about like asking the dragon to carry this pillar to the middle of town. Like,
oh,
that works too, I suppose.
but like we could do that. Like I do own this pillar, and this dragon's obsessed with it. So
I
like
didn't know if it was a thing that couldn't move or not, but
I honestly didn't think about it until he was like, let's go back and check. But you know what?
I like that. It has better flair than an owl.
It definitely does, but you know what? Let's do that. But I still think you should turn into an owl just for like, hey, look at me.
Well, I mean, specifically, I was going to turn into an owl, fly back to town, and then as soon as I got back to town, I was going to turn into that particular cat that keeps running around. And I was going to try to
Oh,
the people to...
That's Mr. Whiskers. He is a god, and he is psychotic.
Yes, I've witnessed him personally murder several people by now.
For no reason. Like, nothing other than...
I also think he might not like identity theft.
I mean...
100% doesn't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna say, he will be just as likely to show up and like kill everybody as he is to show up and drop like a mouse or bird on your doorstep and then ask for belly rubs. It's almost like a cat was given a shitload of power and no instruction on how to use it.
So, just basically an embodiment of chaos, then.
Yeah, that is the best way to put it. And you would say, but it's a cat, so it's not actually evil. It's just a cat. No. Superpowered cats are fucking super evil. Like, I don't care what anybody says. a cat that can like do anything it wants. It is chaos, but they're just the worst.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that was my kind of plan to kind of like convince people I was the cat and like at least restore some bit of order until the
That's a
priest could come
terrible plan.
here.
That is a terrible plan. Like,
Yeah,
So,
I feel we need to have a little quick sit down. And me to explain what happened. Like, so we were talking about Duvariel, and like he gave you some words about what happened. So what did he tell you? Maybe I can
uh,
fill in the blank.
so from what we were told, he
Oh,
met
also, go ahead.
he met some people.
Yeah,
He made a deal with them,
not
and
so much a deal as in they
a,
were
a
just a
business.
meeting and they benefited him. Yeah.
They formed a business relationship, from how I understand. And he was like, meh, doesn't matter. And then he just like let them do what they wanted, aka make Asmodeus incredibly powerful in this world, and basically rewrite the cosmos essentially. And then,
So you know about that, right? And so you're a time guy.
yep,
So now you understand what's happening.
yeah, it hurt my brain when I. So
So,
basically, I
okay,
realized that something
so
was very wrong.
right. So let me explain it to you on like a big picture scheme now. So this world, that history has been in place for 4,000 years, all right? Give or take like a couple hundred. So this place has let Asmodeus be the god, and then by extension, you know, as that happened, he was the god, and then the powers of the additional gods got kind of like wiped out because belief was eradicated. And then a couple weeks ago, maybe a year, I don't know, like finite time is weird. The three people that helped him, you'll hear about. I think the one Carl is impersonating. You got Piotr, who's like a war god, right? He's all order and noble, and probably he's out of the three, he's probably the best one to talk to, because he can be reasoned with. Then there's Logi, who's a trickster god. He's got three faces and he's psychotic. And then there's Mr. Whiskers, which you've already seen, who pretty much does whatever he wants and doesn't give a shit. People are terrified of him, and that's how he maintains any kind of authority. Like, um, so what happened is when they came back and reset the time and were elevated to their godly status, it threw the balance off completely. Like cemented it in, and then it rippled out through the multiverse. I just felt it in Greyhawk, like I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. But time here, I met Piotr felt like it's been years. So the whole cosmos is knocked out of whack right now.
So you've talked to Piotr?
I've talked to Dumaine.
Ah.
I did. But no. I've talked to Piotr, but not like I'm gonna come take your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know.
see.
More like, you're the new kid on the block. What's your plan?
I see.
But yeah, no, I meant Dumaine. Sorry, been writing
You're good.
too much. Yeah, he has talked. This is me explaining, not the DM. So yeah, he has talked to Piotr, but not like we're talking him talking to Dumaine. I apologize for getting confused.
You're good. I was just confused.
Yeah, no, that was, dude, because of the book writing. Like I mentioned the name Piotr more than I've ever done or thought about the entirety of my entire life.
I'm just like, get out of my head.
Every instance of the word Piotr and multiply it, I still am probably like 50 times more in the last 2 weeks. But
that makes me incredibly happy because now Mr. Whiskers is just gonna be cemented into your head.
Just gonna be just there living rent free.
dude, honestly, writing Mr. Whiskers and Logi's partnership together is like almost disconcerting. Like, because like I have to come up with a rationalization. Like, because like when the characters do it, they do what they do, right? Like when the characters come up with it and they just do what they do, it's you're just doing it because of the moment. I have to build a backstory. I have to build how this creatures became incredibly powerful. And so I have to write like their history in the hells, and I have to write like how he decided to be this like super powerful cat, yet at the same time still be aware, like
Yeah,
super
like
power,
from
super
our
intelligent, but still lick his butthole in front of people and be like, it's cool. Like
yeah, from our perspective as characters, like Mr. Whiskers just like in one day and was like, "Hello."
yeah. But now it's like how they got there and how they, like all their backstory. And like I had to write a whole section of the city of Dis of like how they grifted and
Mhm.
how they like slowly manipulated their way up to like now they do it for fun and shit like that. Like, and I'm literally 10,000 words in, and they just got to the town. Like I have written like a novella just of getting there. Like this book is gonna be massive. I'm so excited. All right. Anyway, back to the story. After I digress to talk about my other endeavor, um, he's like, yeah. So long story short, um, balance is key in this cosmos. You got a couple creature things outside of it. Three that really matter. You got the creator god, Lord Ao, right? He made everything. You're never gonna see him. We don't see him. He kind of did his thing, and then he's like, "You do you," and then just does whatever.
It's like
And then
peace.
there's the Lady of Pain. You saw her. She's balanced. She doesn't need any. She just that's what she does, but only in sigil, which is kind of like the cap that keeps everything going. Like that keeps everything from falling apart and flying off into chaos. And then you've got there is Dune, who is just destruction, oblivion.
Yeah,
Like,
we heard about him. That was kind of
yeah,
like what set us off on this little adventure.
yeah, he's chained right now. All of us had to work together to chain him, a little bit from each domain. And the balance is what kept him. We have truces.
Do
We have
you
agreements. We have, yeah, go ahead.
you sure about all of the chains right now?
No, some are broken. I am
Okay,
aware.
just making sure.
Which is why I was like, there's a power vacuum that I really need to do something about. Because we got two choices. We could go back in time, which is super hard, and just stop all of this from happening.
Hmm.
Okay? Which you saw how it happened before. Somebody went back in time to change something, and everything got so much worse. Or we have to rebuild a new system, which is kind of like I can do that.
Hmm. Well,
Oh, yeah, and your friend Nuvarian is kind of on the shit list with most of the like deities right now.
I will say he does seem to be slightly remorseful about it.
Slightly, I mean, he's
I mean, he is a archfey. Like he he also
yeah,
likes chaos a lot. You know, like he does want to fix things because he realized he fucked up. He thought he was just gonna fuck things up a little bit, but he like took it way too far.
yeah, because of that stupid ship.
It's like one of those
Which
things where you like put a prank on one of your buddies, and then instead of just like a pie in his face, he just ends up dead. It's like that kind of prank.
You're a very dark little man sometimes.
I
What
mean, I
kind of
didn't do
pranks
it.
have you been?
I didn't
Oh,
do it. I was just like, I've just heard about
the
it.
what if thing. I get
Yeah.
it. All right, cool. Like, I see. Yeah, exactly like that. Like, he could have probably negotiated with the Svart elves about getting enough metal. But instead he's like, yeah, let's unravel the multiverse Because I could save some money.
Yep. Yeah.
Go buy your shit, man. You're immortal. Like, you've got money to burn.
Yeah, but
You know,
he likes being a shrewd businessman.
yeah, that's the word. Shrewd businessman. That's what it is.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so like, yeah, the chains are break. They can be repaired. Like, yeah, you just, but only like so many times. Like, it's because they're gonna start breaking faster. They're gonna start like we've only had one break ever.
Yeah. So we
And
went to.
then when this thing happened, like this chain's broken like 4 times, and so it's getting weaker. So, like, but before this big thing, they never broke. And now we've got this chain here broke, but they just reforged it with the and
Also, the
one
heavens one is like gone.
that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and like, do you know about how they're fixed?
Nope. Someone told me that they fixed this one a couple times. Don't know how it happens,
Yeah,
but
four times. 4 times. Okay, so each world has like there's a scroll of making and breaking, okay? It's specific to each world. Okay, usually it's in pieces.
is that
because,
like this one? And I pull out the Ebron
yeah,
scroll.
that's exactly what it is. It's that you're missing some pieces.
Yeah. We were working on
Like,
that, and then Navario scooped us up.
oh yeah, that's primordial. Like that's the Eberron scroll. Yeah, so he's like, these are cool. And so he's like, it's a unique magic that was created by Ayun. And he turns the scroll and the words change. Um and it's then you just see the word like oblivion change to restoration. You know, and he's like yeah,
What? I could
they
flip it over this whole time?
Yep.
God damn it.
I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't. I mean, how often do you pick up a book and turn it over and be like, I wonder if I get a second book?
Yeah, why would I read a book upside down? Come on.
Right. It was like kind of clever magic. Like, it's so simple, but like, nobody thinks about it. It's like imagine starting a fire by pouring water on wood. Like, nobody would be like, that's how it's done.
So why would they make like the normal reading position the bad one? Wouldn't you want it the other way around?
It's not. You originally opened it upside down. And then you just thought, that's how it works.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, scrolls are weird. You can open them one of 2 ways. And then as he says it...
Were these your idea?
Yeah, see, you can turn it around. No, that wasn't my idea.
Okay, good. Because I was about to have some...
5 seconds ago, Ayun did it.
Yeah, well, sounds like we have a town to unfuck. So, shall we?
Thought that the Pelor was having the dragon just kind of like fly the obelisk.
I mean, is the dragon taking it right now, or do we go talk to the dragon?
Yeah, I guess we can. But I still think your owl idea is pretty cool.
I like the dragon one better, because it involves me coming with.
You have a very strong sense of FOMO. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, I was more thinking of the fact that he was going to just, like, leave me alone out in the wilderness with nothing but a dragon. It wasn't about FOMO.
You have Fodor with you.
No one said that.
Where is Fodor? Did he wander off for sandwiches again?
You stick outside and, like, he's wandered off. So you're like, nice.
I mean, the last time I really talked to him, he did kick me in the nuts. All right, I'm gonna go outside of the plane.
Hold on. No. Oh, he's gone again. All right.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
So, hear me out. You're out. You left. So you just wandered out. So now he's talking to Edward again.
I was just gonna say I was gonna write a sign and that just says Fodor went back to town. Peace. Ticto. And I'm gonna stick it. I just used the last use to talk to Domain for the day. Actually, no, I do have one more use. Never mind.
That's what I thought. You have one more bug.
Never mind. I didn't leave
so
then.
But you're outside, and he looks to Edward. He's like, okay. Do the owl thing, not the cat part. That was terrible. Fly back there, tell me what's going on, and then come back. Just so we can find out, like, what it... And then he stops. Nah, that's dumb. He steps outside of the building. He sticks his head outside. He's like, hey, Dragon. I'm gonna need you to grab this stone and take us, to town. And the dragon's like, oh. Like, he's like, but I like it here. He's like, listen, I will take this rock and move it wherever the hell I want, or you can move it for me and get to keep it. Your pick, man.
It's like, I will take this rock back. I will take my ball and go home, I swear to God.
Yeah, so help me.
So help me, Pelor.
And I will take it wherever the hell I feel like it. Or you could grab it, fly with it. The dragon's like...
Pelor's just like...
Yeah. So he grabs it, like, immediately takes off. Ticto, you have to, like, run and jump and catch the rock. Because you're like...
Oh, I wanted to ride on his back. On his, like, on top of his head.
We're gonna never-ending story this shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's like, turn around. Yeah. And then you feel like another person's hands get behind you and hold your arms out, and you hear Celine Dion in the background. No, we're turning to Titanic. I hate it.
Ticto is simultaneously a, like, 6-year-old and a 90-year-old man at the same time.
Alright, yeah, you guys fly back to the town. And while you're in there, Pelor looks at Edward. He's like, you got some solid ideas. Little impulsive, but like pretty good head on your shoulders. You guys got some good ideas. You ever thought about working like directly for a god?
Oh.
No, I've actually never given that much thought at all.
All right, how about this? You guys want to work directly for a god?
Am I there? Or is it just,
Yeah, you're both in there.
Oh, okay.
You're upset. You wanted to fly on the dragon, but you're in the ride. You're in.
Okay. You know...
by the way, Watcher is like, if you could see it, as soon as that is said, Watcher is like
Watcher's
rock
like...
hard with the idea. He's like, yeah!
Watcher's like, I swear to God, if you say no, I will fucking beat you. I will never help you again.
I will shit in your pillow every night, so help me God. I will, if you say no.
I will peck your goddamn brains out. It's like,
So, I'll give you some time to think about it.
I think this is a good idea.
But...
Especially as we're about to go...
like... Hold on, like, okay, yeah, continue.
I think we're going to be going toe-to-toe with some rather problematic enemies any time now.
I mean, evil stuff.
Yes.
I mean, like, elementally evil stuff. Not like, oh, they're just evil people. No, these are things that are, like, legit evil.
Yes. I understand that. So,
Yeah.
I think having a little divinity on our side would be great.
Okay, so,
I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, obviously, but
right. Yeah, I hear you. I'm smelling what you're selling. I know what's up. So what about you?
also, I
You
think
want
this bird will kill me if I say no.
okay. He's like, he looks directly at Watcher, and he's like, are you gonna kill him? Watcher's like, he's like, that's right, we don't kill our friends. No. He's like, do we force our will on those of other people? And Watcher's like, yeah. He's like, I'll give you some time to think about it, but
I already said yes.
okay, well then, for a time wizard, you are remarkably impetuous.
All of a sudden, no longer time wizard, cleric.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're a cleric. Boom!
What the fuck?
Yeah,
What happened to my gaudy robes?
Nope. Suddenly you're covered in golden armor, and you can only use a mace. Watcher's gone. No, he's like, cool. So what about you? You want to work? You be willing to work for a god, or?
I'm going to need some time to think on that.
You know what? That's fair. That is 100% fair.
Yeah, I was just with the time wizard comment. It's just people keep talking about that. It's because I understand beyond more than anyone, or maybe not everyone, but that time is a finite resource.
It's like I was really excited to let you explain to me.
Time is a finite resource that is not to be wasted.
Yeah, I find that's one thing I'm like, oh, I wish I had more of time, because forever was only so much.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
fuck you, Mr. Immortal. I mean, yeah, I'd be great, but I don't get that option. I just get to fuck with time. I don't get to, just exist in all time. Come on.
I mean, who exists at all time? That's really tiring.
I love how Ticto is like gnome-splaining to the god.
Right?
It's so Ticto.
I love.
I would argue that it's. I would argue that it's. I would argue that
one
it's.
of my favorite entities right now. Like, you are becoming one of my favorite people. You have no idea of what you're talking to, but you're like, hold on, Debbie. I love it. This is amusing.
I would argue that it's.
I know
that
you
it's,
can't do it yourself. It's okay.
I would argue that it's whiz-splaining, not gnome-splaining, but anyway.
Oh, good. Thanks. You continue to do it.
I can't.
He's one of those guys where it's like, well, actually.
Yes.
He's like, hold on, I got something for you, and
It's actually whatever you just said is actually wrong.
So he's like, I got you. I know what you need, and he like pulls out of the air this pair of dark glasses, and he takes get the other hand. He pulls tape out and wraps it around. And he's like, here you go. This'll help you. And he puts him on and he boops. He's like, boop, there you go. And he's like, that's my present to you.
Oh god, please tell me it's like a cursed artifact where you just can't take them off.
I don't know. Do you try to take him off?
I mean, yes, to inspect them.
You get them this far, and then you gotta they just pop right back up.
Fuck! I don't.
He's like, hold on. It's not just for humor though. If you go and sniff and push him back up, you can read whatever is in front of you, but only each page. You've seen this once, right? You've seen
So
But every time, in order to use it, you gotta go. I call them the but actuallys. That's what they are.
I will
Or
accept this.
you could call them the gnome splainers. I like that. That's cool. The actually gnome splainers glasses. You can't take them off though.
Ticto, you realize that you actually have Pelor's butt actually is on.
Best joke ever.
I hate you all.
I love you.
And with that, we take our first break.
Oh yeah, it's that time. Be right back, guys.
That's so fun.
We're on.
Eight. You guys, while you guys are talking, and Pelor's explaining, all of a sudden he's just like, "Hey, we're here. Let's go see what's happening, huh?"
Yes. And Ticto's gonna like walk out and just be like,
Okay, give me. Wow, this is like the first roll. This has been straight role play. I just realized. All right, let me get a charisma check at advantage.
oh, okay. Well, I guess you get advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an 18 on the die.
You get advantage because you just were flown in on a giant dragon.
And then walked out of a pillar.
Yeah.
18 on the die.
All right. You have no modifier or.
Nope.
Okay.
Not if it's just charisma. I don't think I even have performance.
Ticto like struts out and is like, which is moderately impressive if you were not 3 feet tall with a pair of taped glasses on your face. But people are still like, "Who's that guy? That was pretty cool." And you look around and you see a town that's like kind of in chaos right now.
What level of chaos? Like, are
Imagine,
there buildings
like,
burning?
No.
Like,
It's
are there
just-
riots? Like,
Imagine like a birthday party where like for some reason all the parents decided to not show up but left all the food, drinks, and the kids still there. So it's just like wild energy. People are talking to each other. People are like, they're like, one guy's like visibly hammered out in the middle of the streets. People are like loudly like eating and like.
I can
it's
see
just-
people.
it's like,
You can see people boning in that alley over there.
wow, you're not doing. I didn't say orgiastic, but it's like more like they're allowed to have like it's more like a joyous revelry type celebration.
Okay.
Not apparently, I am never hanging out with you when you're in a really good wanting to party mood, Ben. Never. I don't care
Well, you
what's
just
going
like
on. Like
you
guys
just
wanna
like
get-
so like you say
what are you gonna do
chaos.
with it? Like, I'm gonna go break it off over here. No,
You just
absolutely
you
not.
say chaos. This sounds like a freaking red party. It does like
I'm just saying chaos is like you were under the oppressive thumb of demons and you're like banging, got it. No, pervert. That's not how we're doing this.
Joel, you have no idea the kind of shit he pulled at your wedding when you weren't watching. I'm telling you, man.
I'm now not wanting to review the footage. Like I'm just watching the film and we're like, is that Ben over there getting it on again? Like he had a hotel room. Why is he? And they're like, holy shit, he's doing it again. Like, that does explain your weird dancing that you were doing with your pants off.
Mm.
It all fits together. dude.
yeah, obviously.
You're a hedonist. No, that's what you see. Minus the sex.
Okay.
Because I just.
Because this
is not-
doesn't sound chaotic. This sounds like a fun party.
Yeah, but it's still chaos.
As in, like, people aren't walking single file, like, up and down the street.
As
Gotcha.
in, like, this is a world run by order. Like, remember, Asmodeus is all about order. You follow the line. You do not talk. You do not do this. All of a sudden, everybody stopping you from doing it is like, now they're just like, it's like sending, like, the pastor's daughter off to school. Ah, fuck, they would be fucking.
it's like when
Never
the teacher
mind.
it's like when the
Yeah,
teacher
never
leaves
mind.
it's like when the teacher leaves the classroom. Everyone immediately was like like talking
yeah,
and
kind of like that, but now it's like left alone. Like people are they're talking freely, but you can see how this could become a problem if not some semblance of like if there was not some guidance given to the people.
yes.
So you're not like, oh shit, let's start fighting everybody, but you are kind of like, this could get bad quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who do you say this to?
Just like to the crowd.
Okay. So you.
The babysitter is about to return home as I click the belt and turn into a chain devil.
Ah, damn it, Brian.
So he walks out. So Ticto, you walk out and you're like, hello, and everybody's like, still keeps doing their thing. Edward, you step out and let me get an intimidation check. Yeah, intimidation check.
Okay.
I guess also an advantage because you came with a dragon and a stone.
Oh, all right. Dice camera.
Dice camera activate.
Oh, okay. Well, that's only a 13.
Wow, I feel like it should have been higher. Like
My charisma check was higher than that.
yeah.
You know, you can't win all the time.
So they come out there and they see one chain devil, and like they look at Ticto, and then they look at you, and they look at the chain devil, and they all like look at you, and they're like, and they all start like grabbing implements, like pitchforks and shit, and they're like, it's only one, fellas, we can take it.
I just kind of like wiggle like the chain that I have.
Yeah. And
Brian.
There's one guy.
Edward?
One guy who's like, he's like, there's more of us than there are of him. Let's get him. Like they're all like whipped up. Like they're all gone.
I'm gonna like take a couple
His
steps.
pitchfork. Wait, hold on. His pitchfork.
Oh
I'd
no,
like-
it's not a single pitchfork. It's like everybody's got like pitchforks and like hatchets, whatever weapon that they can grab.
Okay,
It's a
so then
proper
what?
Mob. It's a proper mob that sees.
Whatever weapon the guy has, the guy who's like the one guy who's all like, "Oh, we can take him," you know.
Yeah.
What is it made out of?
This one would be holding a pitchfork with a long wooden handle.
I'd like to sunder it
Okay.
with the chain.
Okay. So that's an attack roll, right? Let's do
Yes.
Oh
wow, that's a natural one.
it. Okay. You go and you're like, you go to hit it and you're still not used to the mechanics of the chain, so you're like, you will stop this nonsense immediately, and go to fling out the chain, and like you miss and you bury the chain in the ground.
The guy like parries it, just like.
No, like not even in the vicinity, like not even like right at his feet. It's like 5 feet off. You're just like, and the guy looks at the chain, and goes, "This one's retarded. Let's go." Like this one doesn't know what he's doing. So like they're even more emboldened, and now they're like running at you, like they're like, "No more devil."
I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Does this Edward take off the Edward
Ticto's like, "You're right, fireball."
Take off the belt. I don't know what your play is here, but take off the belt.
As they're charging, you hear this deep resonant voice, you know, as they're charging towards you to destroy, and he's like, "In the name of Pelor," and you hear this like loud roar. You now see this like half lion man like charging at you as well.
Oh.
And
I was like, God damn it, Edward, read the room.
Ticto's like, no. Let me get a persuasion check at disadvantage for you.
Me?
Yes, because I mean, come on, they're wanting to kill him, and you
Okay.
just snapped out 3 feet tall, being like, let's do this.
8.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't care what you're saying. And then they're all just like they're ready to come after you.
Edward removes the belt.
Well, as you're removing the belt, as you're like they're coming at you, the Amphireon takes his tail and like just right in front, stops everybody off and just looks. And he's like, "No, this is not. What are you doing?" But and then they all stop, look at the dragon, and they're.
It's like they forgot the dragon was there.
Yeah, apparently that is enough for them to be like, maybe this was a bad idea. And Pelor steps out. That's it.
See?
That's the interesting approach you have, you know?
I don't know what he was thinking with that one. And you tell me I'm the one with the charisma dump stat.
Though.
Was it not successful in getting everyone's attention?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But I also think a dragon bringing a giant into the town was also pretty helpful.
Yes, but it didn't seem like anyone was really paying attention to that until
strange times we live in. You are right. You definitely got everyone's attention all at the same time. I mean, at least they're all looking this way.
And then Ticto's just gonna turn around just like to the crowd and be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Dawn Father, Pelor."
They're going to be like,
Who?
who? And Dumaine is gonna come out there and like drop the lion, like shift from the lion form into his and hit his knees, and he's like, and he'll bow. He's like, "It is good to see you here, my lord." And then he'll stand and turn, and he's like, "This has been the guiding hand of my actions for the better part of this last year." And he gives a long speech. We're gonna run short on time, so I'm just gonna abbreviate the speech. He gives a long-winded speech of like, "This is why I've shown you the hand of caring and known, and you've read the type of care you've received under my service and blah blah blah. This is indicative of the wants of Pelor." And Pelor's like, "Thank you. This is correct, but I have a request of you people." And then he looks directly at Jermaine. He's like, "You especially. I'm gonna need to know if I can build like my temple here, like in this town. And since there's no devils, seems like a good start." And the people are like, "Oh, no more gods." And he's like, Don't worry. We're all about consent here. Like, you have to agree." So they go through it, and they're like, "Yeah, why not?" Dumaine, so the obelisk becomes like the first symbol of Pelor in Faerun. Dumaine looks at you and he's like, "That was very well done. I didn't see it turning out this way, but I'm glad it did. By the way, where's your friend who killed everything?"
Oh yeah. He wandered off again, so I'm gonna like whisper into Wasp. I was like, "Fodor, we're at the town. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye."
You do realize that the last time you left him somewhere, you got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, but at least I told him this time what's going on. And he's the one that wandered off.
does seem trouble. Um, so Pelor asks now, he's like, so, what do you plan on doing now? Like, I've got some more places I need you to go, but for the most part, we're just trying to, like, increase the influence. You know, balance the scales.
Well,
So, you agreed to work for me, gnome. You said you would. What about you, sir?
I'm still going to need time to think about it.
What is your biggest reservation?
Well, first and foremost, I don't plan to stay here. I
I'm
plan
not
to go
asking
back to
you
Eberron.
to stay here.
Well, if I serve you, then let's just say that I'm not sure how much agency I would have.
Complete. I ask. I won't tell you to do anything.
And if I decide to do something that is, by your standards, morally questionable.
he does
What are we
that
talking
sometime.
about? Like, are we talking about, like,
Let me ask you this, Pelor. When do you consider political violence a moral good?
does it benefit the greater good? Like,
Is that your answer?
that's my
When it
question.
benefits. No, I'm asking you the question. When does
Sometimes
political
you have
violence
to
become?
sacrifice one to save the many. I learned that from the Nimoy. He was a god of logic a long time ago. But anyways, sometimes, you know, just like sometimes war has to be had to keep the people safe in the end. Part of power. It does it. It sucks. But not everything can be rainbows and sunshine, no matter how much I want it to be. Mine is more, I like the idea of right and wrong. I like the black and white of good and evil, but sometimes you gotta break something in order to fix something else. It's more in the spirit of which you're doing it. Because I understand you're not wired like, you know, Carl, who's like, I do this because this is what it is. The law is the law and you do what you say. You're not wired that way, and nor am I asking you to be. I'm asking if you serve and serve me, do it with the attempt to, when possible, operate for the greater good.
Perhaps I can better clarify my position this way. I am willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that I have a home to return to. And at the moment, that means making sure the universe does not unravel. If your interests are aligned in that same goal, then I am with you, even if I do not serve you.
So let's say, like, I don't know, like temporary agreement.
Consider it less of a servitude and more of an alliance.
That sounds pretty cool. We can do that. I can respect not wanting to pledge allegiance to somebody. I get that. Like, autonomy is key. That is important. What is your primary weapon right now?
I'm not one to get physical. I tend to use my magic.
What is your okay? So, what is your focus?
Well, I am a druid who is
No, this
of
is
the
me asking
circle of
Brian.
stars.
This is me
Oh,
asking
okay.
me asking you. What's your primary focus?
Well, he's a circle of stars druid, so one of the things in which he can do is he can cast the spell Guiding Bolt, which is normally not on the druid spell list, but because I am circle of stars, I can cast it. It is a
That's your
flash of light.
primary.
Sorry, go
Okay.
ahead. It's a first level spell. It's a flash of light that streaks towards a creature of my choice within range. I make a ranged spell attack. On hit, I do 4d6 radiant damage. And on the
That's your.
next attack.
No, I'm asking what is your material spell focus?
Oh, what is my material spell focus?
Yeah, not your favorites, not the spell. Like, what is your material spell focus?
The material spell focus by which my character uses is a series of it's a lens. Remember the rock that like I can shine through and whatnot? That is what I use as my spell focus.
Okay. He's like he's gonna go cool, and he's like, as a sign of, like, you feel the warmth of your little focus, your little rock. And it's now, when you look at it, it grew with the pale light. Before you could put a pale light through it, and now the light is warmer. It's like sunlight is coming through it. He's like, and for the time being, while you are in this alliance, radiant spells you cast at a +1. Okay, so anything that casts as a divine magic, you're gonna cast as a +1. He's like, that's gonna be me upholding your agreement, and he's gonna as a symbol of our alliance. Like, as long as we work to restore the balance to this world, we're good.
Is that a +1 in terms of attack and damage, or is that okay?
And then he's gonna look at Ticto. He's like, you get the same thing too. He's like, but only for divine spells. He's like, he's not empowering any other one.
Ah.
Yeah. He's like,
Noted.
if you go full cleric, like then we got something else to talk about. Right? Like, that's the best I can do.
Somehow I doubt I have that ability.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
I'm smart, but my decision-making skills are lacking.
I suppose you could always try and retrain. I mean, we do have an expert cleric of Pelor here with us. It wouldn't be impossible for you to spend some amount. You know what? Wait a second. That's a great question. That little bubble that we were in, the little dome that we were part of when we were in the obelisk, is that realm separate from this realm's time?
That realm is whatever I want it to be.
Then is it possible for both Pelor and your cleric to step inside the obelisk and in a moment have him step out and have him just be a cleric? Like, could you just speed up time within that sphere and just, like, let their time play out while he retrains and then immediately have him re-enter the world as a cleric?
What are you talking about?
I have heard of a hyperbolic time chamber before.
Yeah, but that's for training for mostly physical combat. Like, are you looking for that?
Essentially, he would be going inside.
And besides, your hair will grow all over the place. It will be very... I mean, your beard would get uncontrollable.
It already is.
But like, think ZZ Tops, but you know what I'm saying?
But way cooler. That is impossible. Just so you know, there is no cooler beard than ZZ Tops.
No.
In case anybody wondered, that is beard.
Even the one that didn't have a beard.
But still had a cooler beard just by being
No,
around.
no. He didn't have a beard. His last name was just Beard.
Yeah, they're like. But you're talking about Dumaine, right?
Yeah. Him and Dumaine could like enter and like, you know.
He's like, at this point, that's kind of more of a just costume change. Like, he's like, it's pretty much all it is. He's been following pretty much just me and faking it for a while.
Well, I mean, we do have Pelor himself here. I don't think it would be impossible for Pelor to teach you the ways of a cleric.
You know, that's a pretty convincing argument you've got there. He's like, hold on a minute. And he's like, Dumaine, Pelor, now.
They're just going to test it out real fast. Don't worry.
Yeah. He then comes out there and Ticto's like, what are you going to do there? Ben says the kind of excitement you should know. Not that kind of tower. So, they go in there, you know, and he comes back out wearing, like, golden vestments and a symbol of the sun. And, he's like, so, we have reached an agreement, and the pillar kind of, like, takes a root and, like, starts growing as it becomes an edifice, like an actual temple. And he's like, I guess you got the first temple of Pelor here in Faerun. The blessings to the Dawn Father is going to keep this town free from evil, but there's probably going to be a little bit of attention drawn towards it, especially as we grow. Oh, and you might want to go break that other one, like at least, I don't know, burn it down or something. He leans down to Ticto and he's like, this would be a good time for fireball.
I like burning things.
Just
Ticto's basically like sprinting as fast as his little gnome legs can carry him through the crowd.
get an attack roll, and what level are you going to be doing it at?
I will be casting it at a 4th level.
Yep.
There's no attack roll. It's a dexterity save.
I don't think the tower has a great dexterity
Yeah,
save.
the building fails the dexterity. I mean, I'll roll it at disadvantage to just see.
2 20s.
Right? The building jumps out of the way. No, there's no dexterity saving throw. You cannot do anything. Edward, are you helping in the destruction of said building?
Well, if I get a plus to my radiant spells, then I'm going to try it out by using my spell Moonbeam, where I'm just going to summon a silvery beam of pale light that comes down, and I'm just going to do 2d10 radiant damage on failed save. So I'm just gonna 2d10 plus 1 then. And that spell lasts for up to a minute. So, you know, 10 rounds of Moonbeam.
29 fire damage to the temple.
So you guys walk up, and as Pelor, like, the building is, like, by magical means. It's like a growing, the obelisk is now growing, and he's like, and Dumaine is like, he's got, like, longer golden hair now. Like, he looks like a more robust version of himself as the temple is growing, and he is changing with the temple.
In the name of Pelor.
Yes, in the name of wrong symbol, but like right mentality. But so you hold out your symbol in the name of Pelor, and you bring a moonbeam down, and like the radiant energy of it starts like burning the symbols of Asmodeus. Like they start like there's obviously a reaction. Since there's nothing there powering them right now, because all the believers are dead in the area, they start disappearing, and then it starts like breaking apart slowly, and Ticto's like, I can help
No.
Yeah!
Ticto's gonna, like, just for the sake of flavor, Ticto's gonna, like, summon a fireball in each hand and take a deep breath, and is gonna chuck 2 fireballs in Dragon's Breath at the temple.
Yeah.
It's like...
Long story short, like, you guys just, these 2 characters, one, like, a medium stature, and one tiny little dude, who's apparently just creating a wall of fire. Like,
just like 3 jets of fire just erupt from Ticto.
Yeah. You just immolate this building and it collapses in on itself. And the people are like strangely quiet. Like this is a paradigm shift in their way of life. and they're very they don't know what to make of it, but like after a little bit, they look at it and it's gone, and
It's like, anyone got a problem with that?
they're like, what does that mean? And they're asking.
It
Means
means
you
this.
follow that guy now.
No.
They're like, what does this mean? And then one guy walks up with like a bunch of forms in his hand. He's like, but I filled all these out in triplicate.
Yes.
I'm just gonna
give me the
firebolt.
form.
I'm gonna firebolt the forms.
No. I'll take the form, and I will say, thank you. Pelor, can you heal the town?
And he's gonna be like, no, that would be for my new priest to do. And Dumaine will be like, he'll say a prayer, you know, the blessings of the Dawn Father heal this town. And it does. Like, you know it's Pelor doing it, but he's making a dog and pony show the whole thing.
Of course.
And
It's like out of the
so,
obelisk, there's just this beam of light, just like
Yeah.
in the air.
Yeah, like
The clouds dissipate.
Because I remember the entire town needed healing.
Yeah,
Because like
they were
all of them.
Yeah, they were
So.
all sick. So you watch the people who's like, you know, are crooked over, or like enfeebled, like straighten up, and like the sores on their body heal. And he's like, and they're like, you hear murmurings. They're like, but how will we repay you? I have no, like, you hear murmurs of like fear of retribution. We don't have it. Like the god is standing there, and like Asmodeus is a big bad. But they've never seen him. They've seen the demons. And so they're like, how? But they're all afraid and murmuring. He's like, there is no charge for this. He's like, those ways are gone.
And that is what this means.
They're like, they all hit the ground. And they all like kneel. And they're like, you know, praise the Dawn Father. And Pelor looks at them and he's like, well, good luck. And he goes back into into the temple.
So, Ticto, are you sure that you don't want to cross class?
The dragon goes with him. Like, he's like, as he's leaving, he's like, I don't think I can leave you here. And he takes the dragon with him.
I don't think I'm cross-classing, but you know, I don't see anything wrong with putting a little bit of divine fervor into my work.
Are you thinking about a particular?
Yeah, I love it.
Are you thinking about a particular spell you wish to ask for Pelor?
I mean, he just gave me a bump, but oh wait,
I don't know if you have any magic that does radiant.
you know that spell from I have that sword spell.
Yeah, that's a radiant spell.
Can Dragon's Breath do radiant damage?
Have you made it do radiant damage?
No, it cannot do radiant damage.
Then no, it cannot.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
All right. Malkin is the first town consecrated to Pelor. At the foothills of the Iron Citadel, where you still have to go and inspect to see the status of the chains. I feel this is a good part to leave off, and what do you guys say?
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see you again on Monday, where we'll be doing Nerds on Books, where we'll be talking at the behest of Joel's wife about a vampire romance novel known as A Discovery of Witches.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel if you've missed any of our content thus far. We have all of our content there. Don't forget to give us a follow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so that you know when new videos are coming out. And thank you all for joining us.
And
Thanks.
if you enjoy it, please feel free to tell anybody you know to give us a watch and
Give us a
like,
like,
share,
give us a
and
follow.
subscribe.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
All right. See you again next week.